Imagine waking up one morning feeling perfectly healthy. You go to work, you spend time with your family, you plan your future. Then, within days, you develop a fever. A week later, you're fighting for your life. Now imagine that this isn't happening to just one person. It's happening to thousands. And nobody knows why. Throughout human history, diseases have appeared suddenly, spread rapidly, and changed the course of civilization forever. But among these outbreaks, some stand out because they seem to emerge without warning, catching scientists, doctors, and entire nations completely by surprise. One of the most shocking examples occurred in 1918. At the time, the world was already exhausted. World War I had devastated countries across Europe and beyond. Millions of soldiers were living in crowded camps, and populations were struggling with food shortages and uncertainty. Then, something unexpected happened. A strange illness began spreading. At first, it didn't seem particularly dangerous. Patients developed symptoms similar to ordinary influenza: fever, cough, headaches, and fatigue. But then doctors noticed something terrifying. Healthy young adults, people who were supposed to survive illnesses more easily, were becoming critically ill. Hospitals filled rapidly. Entire communities were overwhelmed. Some patients reportedly turned blue due to severe oxygen deprivation. Others died within days of developing symptoms. The disease spread faster than anyone imagined possible. Today, we know this outbreak as the Spanish flu pandemic. But despite its name, scientists still debate exactly where it originated. Some researchers believe it began in the United States. Others point to Europe or Asia. More than a century later, the true origin remains uncertain. What is certain, however, is its devastating impact. The pandemic infected approximately 1/3 of the world's population and may have killed as many as 50 million people worldwide. To put that into perspective, the disease killed more people than World War I itself. What made the outbreak especially frightening was how unexpected it was. There were no modern warning systems, no international health surveillance networks, no advanced vaccines, no antibiotics to treat secondary infections. Humanity was facing an invisible enemy with very little understanding of how to stop it. Yet the Spanish flu was not the only disease to appear without warning. In 1976, doctors in Central Africa encountered another terrifying mystery. People began developing severe fevers, internal bleeding, and organ failure. The disease spread rapidly through communities and hospitals. At first, nobody knew what they were dealing with. The world would soon learn the name of this deadly virus: Ebola. The mortality rate was staggering. Entire families were affected. Healthcare workers became infected while trying to save others. Fear spread almost as quickly as the disease itself. Scientists raced to identify the cause. Eventually, they discovered one of the deadliest viruses ever identified. Even today, Ebola outbreaks continue to concern health experts worldwide. Then came another surprise. In late 2019, doctors in China began noticing patients suffering from an unusual form of pneumonia. Initially, the number of cases seemed small. Many people assumed it would remain a localized outbreak. But within months, the disease had spread across continents. The virus responsible became known as SARS-CoV-2. The disease it caused became known as COVID-19. The world changed almost overnight. Borders closed. Cities entered lockdown. Hospitals became overwhelmed. Entire economies slowed. For billions of people, daily life transformed in ways previously unimaginable. The COVID-19 pandemic reminded humanity of an uncomfortable truth. New diseases can emerge at any time. And when they do, they often arrive without warning. But why does this happen? Scientists believe there are several reasons. Many dangerous diseases originate in animals before crossing into humans. This process, called zoonotic spillover, has produced some of history's most significant outbreaks. As humans expand into natural habitats, interact more frequently with wildlife, and travel globally at unprecedented speeds, opportunities for new diseases to emerge increase. Climate change may also play a role. Environmental changes can alter ecosystems and expose human populations to pathogens they have never encountered before. And then there is evolution itself. Viruses constantly mutate. Most mutations have little impact. But occasionally, a mutation gives a pathogen new abilities.
The ability to infect humans, the ability to spread more efficiently, the ability to evade immunity. When these factors align, the results can be catastrophic. Yet despite all our scientific advances, one reality remains unchanged. We cannot predict exactly when the next major disease will appear. Scientists around the world monitor thousands of potential threats.
They study viruses in animals. They analyze genetic mutations. They investigate unusual outbreaks. But nature continues to surprise us. And perhaps that is the most unsettling part of all. The next disease that changes history may not be discovered in a laboratory. It may not begin in a major city. It may not announce its arrival. Instead, it could appear quietly, unexpectedly, without warning, just as so many deadly diseases have throughout human history. The question is not whether another mysterious disease will emerge. History tells us that it will. The real question is, when? And when that day comes, will humanity be ready?